just thought I'd jump on because I was about to do some nail care with Max, and I thought this is probably something that a lot of people might find quite useful. So as many people do, we struggle with Max's nail clipping because ever since we've had him, he's been very sensitive to touch on his feet. He gets quite upset about it. I'm not sure where that comes from. It might be that something happened, it might be that he was just never desensitized to having his feet touched. It is something that we're working on, but it's a slow process. In the meantime, the way that I do clip his nails, because he goes in a lot of woodlands and fields for his walks, we don't do much pavement walking, so they don't generally get worn down, so I do have to clip his nails. So in the meantime, we use a licky mat with some pate spread on there, and he will happily eat that while I can clip his nails. Because obviously that's quite an event. We do a little bit of training in between on a filing board just to help keep those nails a bit shorter than having to clip them sort of fairly regularly. It just helps with the maintenance of it. So I just thought I'd show you guys how I've kind of introduced him to this and how we train it. So I'm very lucky in that Rob had a spare skateboard that I have borrowed / stolen, because skateboards obviously have sandpaper on one side. Ideally you'd make one with a wooden board and much finer sandpaper than this, but it's to hand and it works. So what I've done is used a clicker to shape the behaviour that I'm looking for. So I'm looking for Max to target his feet and scratch his feet onto the board to file his nails down. So this is something that we have worked on, so he's probably going to progress a fair bit quicker than your dog might when you're first introducing them to it. So please don't worry if your dog is much slower on the uptake than this looks like. So to start with, what I would do is introduce the filing board to your dog, and any interaction that they show with the filing board, I would mark, so click or say good or yes, your verbal marker is fine. And then give them a treat for that, so that they learn that interacting with their filing board gets them something good. That's going to create that positive association with it. Then what you can do is start to increase your criteria so that they have to target their paws towards the board, and then start adding in that kind of scratching motion to it as well. So I'll just have a quick go with Max, if he will, just so you can see what it kind of looks like, just as a quick little demo. Oh, you've decided to return, have you? So what I'm going to do is put my treats down here so you can't get them, and place this here with my clicker ready. So he's scratched his claws down the board, so I clicked, and now he's going to get a treat. He does like to make a meal of having treats, so I apologise for how slow he is. I am being mean and just using normal dry dog biscuits, so it's not that exciting either. So he's just holding his foot on there. Because we've done a fair bit of this, I'm not going to accept that. He doesn't get a click for that because I'm looking for a bit more from him. But if you're just starting out with your dogs, I would probably accept that. Max. What's going on out there, huh? Max. You gonna play ball? Good boy. was me. Good boy. There we go. Just move it so you might be able to see it a little bit better. And this way. Good boy, we'll take that. Just leave those alone, mister. Good boy. And what you can do once your dog is getting the idea and they know that it's scratching their feet, you can look for more scratches before you give them the reward. So start with one and then get a few. Good boy, well done. Oh, that's the treat pot. When you are doing this as well, do keep an eye on how close to the quick your dog's nails are, because you don't want them to accidentally self-quick, because that will put them off big time, because it might be a bit sore. And they will bleed everywhere, which is never pleasant. So I'm looking for him to do both paws, that's why I'm waiting him out. So you can see he did a few with that one and then was like, why isn't she clicking? So did his other foot as well. I think Max must be left pawed. Other one. Good boy. Good boy. So I waited him out a bit too long that time, which is why he laid down. Other one. Good boy. Well done. It'd be nice and give you one for that. Thanks. Nice. Now I don't put a cue on this behaviour, just because this is probably enough of a cue for him, but you could name it something if you want, and I would probably name it as they start the scratching behaviour. Alright, let me know if you have any questions on this, but I hope that helps.